Drawing things for complete strangers, but my parents will probably watch this, so I guess they're not our strangers completely. Bad art.
Yellow, and welcome to Bad Art, a video series where I draw things and I talk things. Sorry for the delay. There are things going on in real life that are throwing off my schedule. So, I'm not making these excuses to get any sympathy. I'm just trying to keep it transparent, kind of let you know what's going on in my life to, answer your questions of where are these videos and where's the content. All right. The other thing that's been holding up the train is I had to do some research. I had to do some research because this month, the month of October, is LGBT History Month. For those who don't know, LGBT is lesbian, bisexual, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. So it's the history this month. And when I did some research and looked that up, I immediately started to get a little mad because I was like, well, the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? So I was like, how come they can't have their separate months? Why do they have to share? Because I immediately go to February and I'm like, February is Black History Month, and if Black History Month had to share something with another event or whatever, it's like, I'd be kind of mad about that because it's bad enough that Black History Month is on the month that's the shortest month of the year. You know what I mean? So I did some research, more research after finding out, October and everything. And all that anger just went away because what I found was just an entire list of all the 12 months and all the events that go on within those months. And they share a buttload of things. Like, for example, the month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and it's also Sexual Assault Prevention or Awareness Month, in April. And that's just two things that I picked from that entire list of April that happens and what goes on with that month, right? So the moral of the story is that when you find or see something or hear something that makes you upset and your knee-jerk reaction is to lash out or go on Twitter and just say all this other crap, chill out, cool off, breathe, do a little bit more research, and then act. Basically think before you act. So, yeah. So anyway, now let's get back to business. Let's talk about the art, because basically the art is going to complement the story that I'm going to tell you, So anyway, I'm going to tell you the story of how I went to a gay club. So I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which means that the majority of my friends are back in Wisconsin. After about 20 years or so, I got fed up with the environment and my surroundings, and I needed to change the scenery. So I ended up moving to Arizona. And I left a lot of friends and a whole lot of family back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? There's this core group of friends who I hang out with and still keep in contact with. We all keep in contact with each other. It's not like back in the day when we used to sit on the phone and do three-way and four-way calls and stuff, talking to each other late into the night. We don't do that anymore, obviously, because we all got our own lives and stuff that we gotta live now. But, we'll hit each other up every now and then just to shoot the shit, see how everybody's doing. How you doing? What movies you watch and what shows you watching, what games you playing, stuff like that. Every now and then, because a couple of my friends, my core friends, are kind of spread out in the country. So every now and then when they go back, or if I go back to Milwaukee or Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we'll hit each other up and be like, hey, I'm gonna be in Milwaukee on this day because I'm going for Summerfest or something, right? So they'll be like, I'm gonna go on this day, what do you got planned? You should go too. We'll have a reunion and stuff and we'll all get together and hang out. So if our schedules are clear and our budgets are good, we'll try and make that reunion happen. And we've successfully done it maybe I'd say twice for sure, maybe 3 times. But the very first time we did the reunion, where we choreographed it or coordinated it, was when we were like at least 21 or over. Because when I was living there, we were like, I moved when I was 20. So we never got to like go out to bars and hang out and stuff and go bar hopping together, right? So when we had that first reunion, like we were all like 20 years old or maybe like a year older. So it was like, all right, cool. We're grown-ups now, supposedly, for lack of a better term. Let's go out and go to the bar. Let's get drunk, right? So we did that. We went out to the bars, we were drinking, and they were dancing. Keyword they, because back in those days, I did not dance. There was only a special occasion when I would dance, but for the most part, like, I don't dance. I was that guy who would just go to the bar and people would be like, come and dance with me. And I'll be that cool dude just like, nah, baby, I don't dance. I was that guy. So we went to like a couple bars, just bar hopping and stuff. And they all had like the little party atmosphere. Like they had the dance floor, they had the bar, they had the loud music and all this other stuff, right? We eventually got to one of the bars where it was like really chill. And we were sitting down, just chilling, drinking, shooting the shit, some more, talking. And we were like kind of starting to die down, but we weren't ready to go home. So we're just like, where else are we going? The night's still young. Where are we going to next? So everybody was kind of like just sitting around trying to figure out where to go. One of them stood up. One of my friends, Jasmine, was like, let's go to La Cage. My friends are there right now. Let's go there and let's go hang out with them. And everybody's like, yeah, sure. Let's go do that. Right. And I was like, yeah, sure. Whatever. I don't care. Because if I sit here any longer, I'm going to fall asleep. Okay. So like we all get up and get in the car and we start driving. Don't worry, we had a designated driver. So don't get all like, oh, you shouldn't be drinking and driving. Don't worry about it. We had a designated driver. So I just can't remember who it was. But anyway, so side note, back in that day, I had a smartphone. It was a HTC Evo 4G. It was my very first smartphone. It was also, at that time, it was probably like 3 or 4 years old because I don't upgrade my phone every 2 years like I'm supposed to. I always wait till the phone is like on the verge of just exploding, right? And so I had this phone and it was so old that it would like randomly just shut off in the middle of whatever, right? Even if it's just sitting in my pocket, it'll just shut off. So like when we were like bar hopping and stuff, I was hitting up my other friends in Milwaukee and I was just like, hey, I'm in town. I'm out right now, like going to bars and stuff. If you got time or if you got a chance, you should join, or, we need to like get together some other day if we can. Right. So like I was hitting up some friends and when we decided that we were going to La Cage, I hit up one of my friends. I was like, hey, we're going to this bar called La Cage. Not really sure how it's spelled. I spelled it the best way I could. But I was like, we're going to this bar called La Cage. You should go if you can. So like as soon as the text had sent, the phone shut off. So we like get in the car and we're driving towards the bar and I'm just waiting for my phone to come back on, right? So we finally get to the bar and it was weird because we went to this building and it was like you had to like kind of walk down some stairs and go into like this underground little jazz bar, right? So we went into there and then we went to the back of the room to go out the door into a hallway. And as soon as you get into the hallway, you hear like music thumping. It's like, doof, 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 right? As soon as we get in the hallway, my phone finally comes back on. So like we're walking towards the entrance and we get up to the entrance and I check my text and my friend had texted me back while the phone was off. And she was like, hey, that's cool that you're in town. I'll have to catch up with you some other day, because I just got off of work and I just got home and I'm beat, so I'll catch up with you before you leave, right? So I was like, cool. And then there was another message from her where it was like, not sure if you care or not, but if you're talking about the bar that I think you're talking about, you are going to a gay bar, just to let you know, right? So as soon as I read that, I looked up and we're at the entrance and everybody's like paying their way to get in. And I was like, guys, is this a gay bar? And like, they must have been trying to like mess with me or something, because as soon as I asked them that, they had this embarrassed look on their face. Like I just caught them trying to steal money, like out of my wallet without me looking, right? So like they look at me like that, and they're just like, yeah, is that all right? You know? And I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. You know, as long as you guys don't mind all the guys in the club, like, hitting on me and stuff, you know, because I'm so sexy. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm talking shit, but yeah. So anyway, like, we go in, and I really did not mind going into the gay bar because I always heard a rumor that the gay bars is where ladies go to hide from men so they don't like get hit on and stuff. So they can just like dance and have fun and not get harassed by guys 24/7, right? So I wanted to see if that was true. So I didn't have a problem going in. So we pay our way, we go in, I'm looking around. It's just like any other club. They got the dance floor. They got the bar. I think they even had some cages hanging down off the ceilings, but sadly there were no one in the cages from what I can remember. But like, you know, on the ceiling, hanging from the ceiling were these little TVs, and it was these like half naked dudes dancing on the TV. Like you couldn't, their head was cut off and their legs were cut off. So all you could see was this big, bulky, like oily, muscular body, like dancing to the beat, right? So like there was that, like those were on the TVs hanging down from the ceiling. You know, on the dance floor, people are dancing, and there's like a couple of guys on the dance floor who have their shirts off and they're dancing. And I'm just looking at them like, why the hell are their shirts off? Like, why are they dancing with their shirts off? You know, like, just trying to figure that out. So my friends go, they all like spread out and they go to the dance floor. I go to the bar like I normally do because I don't dance. And I go and get my drink, and I'm just like hanging out, chilling and stuff, you know, taking in the sights and everything. Still trying to find out why guys are dancing shirtless. So back when I said that I dance on special occasions, back in those days, the special occasion for me to dance was you had to play Lady Gaga or Kesha. So as I'm like chilling and drinking and stuff, like as I'm like taking sips from my drink, every now and then, like some friends will come back and forth and like check on me and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. You know, and they come and get a breather and everything from dancing. So they're like, oh, are you not going to dance? Are you not going to dance? I'm like, no, dude. It's like, you know, I don't dance, you know? And as soon as I said that, Poker Face came on. Lady Gaga, Poker Face. And I was like, oh my God, never mind. I got to dance. Here's a special occasion, right? So I get out and go to the dance floor. And I'm dancing, dude, and I can't dance. Back in those days, I couldn't dance for shit. So, like, I'm out there and I'm dancing and everything. I run into a couple of friends. They're like, oh, my God, I can't believe you're out here dancing. I'm like, yeah, man. It's like, got to dance for Gaga. Got to dance for Gaga, right? So I'm, like, all dancing stuff, getting my groove on. And as soon as I, like, start getting into the groove, I immediately figured out why there are, like, some guys dancing with their shirts off. It is hot. It was hot as balls on the dance floor. It was super hot. It was so weird because like when you walk into the club, it's just like regular room temperature. Like it's not too hot, not too cold. As soon as you get on the dance floor and start dancing, it gets super hot. And I've been to clubs before and been on the dance floor, like to like walk past the dance floor to get to the bar. And it has never been that hot ever. But for some reason in Lacage, it was hot as balls. So like I'm dancing and I was like, oh my God, like I can't stay on this floor this long, dude. I was like, cause I'm gonna die from a heat stroke, right? So like the song starts coming to an end. So I start kind of like inching my way back towards the bar, right? And you know, in clubs, like the song doesn't just stop, they just lead right into the next one. So like the song like slowly starts getting ready to stop. And then the next song comes in. It's freaking Kesha, okay? And it wasn't, and at that time, I think TikTok was her #1 single. They weren't playing TikTok. They were playing a song that you would only know if you own the CD of Kesha. And I own the CD of Kesha. I can't remember what song they were playing, but they were playing a song on the CD that I liked. And I was like, oh my God, well, I guess I gotta stay on the dance floor and risk getting a heat stroke because now they're playing Kesha. What are the chances that they get Lady Gaga and Kesha to dance or to play at the same, you know, one after the other, right? So like I kept on dancing, dude, and I was getting so hot. And like eventually the song went off and I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm done. I'm done dancing for the rest of the night. If anybody needs me, I will be at the bar, okay? So I went to the bar, got another drink, was drinking. One by one, friends started to come back, you know, and they were getting drinks with me and sitting at the bar. And we were talking about how hot the dance floor was. They were like, dude, it's so hot. It's so hot on the dance floor. I was like, I know. I should be ordering ice water right now. It's so hot on the dance floor, right? So eventually, like, we all get back together at the bar. And, you know, at that time, like, everybody's just kind of like, all right, like, you know, starting to get about that time, you know, let's get out of here before traffic starts, you know, like, trying to get out, right? So we start to leave. And we're walking towards the exit. And Jasmine is like, oh, wait, I have to go say bye to my friends that we came here to, like, see and stuff, remember? And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Go ahead. You know, we'll be right here. You know, so she, like, runs off and disappears into the crowd. And we're just kind of, like, standing there. Music's still going. So we just kind of, like, sit in place and just start doing little jigs, right? Just a little jig, getting jiggy with it, right? So as we're doing this, I feel hands come up on my back, okay? They start on my back, and then they slowly inch their way towards the front and grab my chest, and they give it a little squeeze. And it wasn't like a hard squeeze. It was like it was a firm enough squeeze to where, like, right before it was gonna hurt, like, it would just stop. So it would just be like a kind of thing, right? So, like, I'm feeling this, and I stopped dancing. I stopped doing my jig, and I'm like, it's one of my friends, like, messing around with me, right? You know? And so I start, like, looking around the club, and I start to see every one of my friends, like, just, like, sitting, dancing, like, across from me, right? And after I count all of them and realize that, like, Jasmine, like, disappeared into a crowd in the opposite direction from me, I'm like, dude, who the hell is behind me, okay? So I, like, look behind me, and it's just this dude. And he's got this big Cheshire cat grin on his face, like, looking dead in my eyes, right? With his hands on my chest. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, you know, because I'm trying to figure out if I know this person, like if it's somebody I knew back in the day, if, you know, they're going to be like, oh, what's up, Chuck? What's going on? You know, I'm thinking they're going to do something like that. He just, like, has this grin on his face. He pulls his hands away and walks by me, like, just staring dead at me. So I just kind of, like, stare back at him, and I slowly inch my way towards one of my friends, and I grab her hand, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm with her, you know? And then he kind of, like, just stops grinning, and he has this little smirk on his face, and he does the whole little I got my eyes on you type thing as he walks away, and then he disappears into a crowd. And then my friend finally, like, figures out what's going on, and she's like, what's going on? Why are you holding my hand? You want to dance? And I was like, no, I was this guy, like, just groped me, you know, just, like, had his way with my chest, you know. And she thought I was joking around. She was like, oh my God, you're so stupid. I was like, no, it really happened. It really did. And she was like, oh yeah, whatever. So, like, Jasmine finally comes back. We all get together and we walk out of the club. And the whole night, I'm just like, dude, it happened. I was like, I told you guys. I told you the guys wanted me. They wanted me all over them, and they wanted to be all over me. They wanted to have one big orgy with me, and you guys missed it. Like, I told you not to bring me to that club because I told you I was going to soak up all the attention that y'all was going to get. And they were just like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Like, shut up, blah, blah, blah. But, like, they didn't believe me. I don't even know if they believe me till this day, but it happened. All right. And that's what's going on in this picture. Like, I went to the gay club, and I got groped. The man groped my chest. I don't even know his name. He don't know my name. And that's the thing too. Like, that's how much of a good guy I am, because I had every reason to turn around and give him the business. I should have verbally destroyed that man, because if I was in another club and I saw some girl that I thought was attractive, and I went up behind her and put my hands on her back and wrote my hands all the way up to her boobs or breasts and grabbed them, and I didn't even know this person, you know what happened? I'd be in jail. And that would be after I get carried out by the bouncer. And that would be after I get, like, blasted verbally from her talking about, you don't know me, you ain't even give me a drink, and you coming all up behind me, grabbing all over me. How dare you do that to me? You don't even know who I am, you know? So, like, I could do that to this guy, but I didn't. I was cool. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm with her, you know? Like, that was it. You know what I mean? There were no fights. There was no anger, nothing like that. Even in that moment, I just thought it was funny because, like I said before we walked into the club, I was like, as long as you guys are cool with all the guys hitting on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'll go up in here, you know what I mean? And it actually happened. So I just thought it was like hilarious that it actually happened. And like, and ever since then, you know, I guess he must have like gave me something, because ever since then, dude, every now and then I just get hit on dudes, and I just chalk it up to just me being a pretty attractive man, you know, to guys. Cause you know, I'm not lucky with the ladies, but I mean, I think if I was gay, I would clean up, you know? I've gotten some drinks in my day. I've gotten some compliments, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway, that's my story. I hope no one took offense to it. It was not supposed to be meant to be taken offense. It was just a story that I thought I would share with you all, because I've shared so many stories, you know, and I feel like you guys have been getting to know me. So, you know, just in the spirit of the LGBT History Month, I figured I would just share that story with you. So, yeah. So if you have any stories or anything that you want to share with me, or if you have a problem with my story, please let me know. I apologize for offending you if I offended you. So, you know, hit me up. Or if you want to just like tell me, hey, like, yeah, that was a funny story, and you know, like you're so funny, Chew, and all this other stuff, you know, hit me up on Twitter at the Chewels. Hit me up on Instagram at ChewVision. Email me, chewels85@gmail.com. And be sure to check out my new video sorry. Check out my new video series called Movie Tuesday. That's a video series where I talk about movies because I love movies so much. I'm gonna warn you right now, it's kind of bad. So vibe with me for a second, because I'm still working out the kinks. And I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, that was bad, but it could have been worse. And I'm out.